5 spots in the United States that got this tour. Most of the shows were in Canada. And this is the last one, actually, the last full one. We're going to Guitar Town tomorrow night, and the night after that is part of the benefit for my son's school in New York City. And it's Saturday night at Town Hall in the city. If you want to see Guitar Town again and also see Graham Nash and me and Sean Colvin, then Sunday night. No, Monday night. Fuck, this is where the hell am I? I'm on the road every night, Saturday night, every morning is Monday morning. It's not, as we travel around commemorating the 30th anniversary of this album, I thought it was important I let people know about a person that you may know about if he actually owns this record. His name is Richard Bennett, and he was the heart and soul of this record. Richard played guitar for Neil Diamond for 17 years and lived in LA when I met him. I was recording some sides for, actually, if you hadn't figured it out, we're playing Guitar Town all the way through. And then we're gonna take a little break and come back and play a bunch of other stuff. So, just, Richard, besides working for Neil, he produced some rockabilly records in the early 80s on a little label called Rolling Rock. And that's where I first heard him. I didn't realize who I was listening to. And then Emery Gordy and I were looking at songs because I sort of lost confidence in my writing in the last sessions I did for Epic. And Emery said, oh, I know who that guitar. I brought in this one song, this one record. He said, I know who that guitar player is. You know, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should bring him in to play on your sessions. And Emery's girlfriend at the time and manager was a lady called Mary Martin. She's from Canada. She introduced Dylan to the band because she worked for Albert Grossman when she was like 18 years old. And she, when the Butterfield band bailed, she says, I know the band. And the rest is history. She went on and worked for Warner Brothers. She signed Emmylou Harris to Warner Brothers Records. And she managed Van Morrison for a long time. But she had moved to Nashville where she, just before this, and that's where she lives now. And very smart. Can out-cuss any 3 men I know, and knows more about, professional football than I could even think about. But she overheard us from the kitchen talking about flying in Richard Bennett, and she walks in and she says, Emery, isn't flying guitar players into Nashville a little bit like flying hookers into Vegas? And she would have been right if we were talking about any other guitar player than Richard Bennett. He and I wrote Good Old Boy Getting Tough together, and we wrote this song together, and all of the that guitar that sort of became my sound that's on that record. It's on Guitar Town and Exit Zero is Richard Bennett. And this song, you hear a lot of Richard Bennett on the record because this was one we made all the demos, just the 2 of us in LA before we started recording in Nashville in I guess December of '85. And we ended up with one demo we couldn't beat, and that was this one. So we went back to the formula on the demo. I stood out there like a dork with no guitar and sang, and Richard played rhythm guitar, and Harry Stinson whacked on the snare drum with some brushes. And that was the basic, and then Richard went back and played the upright bass, the tic-tac, that thing over there, and the lead guitar. So on the whole record, you're hearing a lot of Richard Bennett. On this song, you're hearing mostly Richard Bennett. We also cover it. So this goes out to Richard.